My name is Zach West, and I'm actually one of the healthcare strategist consultants here at Mobile Smith. I've done quite a bit of work in regards to the healthcare in here. But I get to help a lot of the healthcare groups develop or get started on these great ideas for mobile applications to engage their patients and improve their branding. So today we're going to discuss quite a few things, but specifically we're going to be going into one of our most popular applications out there, and that's that branded pregnancy applications. So many hospitals are launching branded pregnancy apps today. We will discuss why they're doing it, how they're doing it, what goes into creating an awesome pregnancy app for our patients, how to outline content, functions, promotion strategy, and so on. And we'll definitely be holding some questions there towards the end. And then I'll show you two examples of tremendously successful branded apps from two of our clients that are some of the major hospitals within the U.S. And then we're also going to go over some of the popular functions for these applications to make sure that they're really kind of reaching out to your users. So pregnancy apps have surged lately to the mobile app scene a few years ago, but they're getting larger and larger as things go along. And they still haven't really lost any popularity at all. According to a recent study by Citrix, pregnancy apps or women's health applications consist about 14% of all mobile health apps available in the app stores. Naturally, the majority of users go for a handful of the most popular applications, such as Baby Bump, Baby Center's My Pregnancy Today, and Pregnancy Plus, Plus I'm Expecting, or a WebMD Pregnancy. So there are quite a few out there. I know these apps are really well done, and they have fantastic content and some great graphics, and quite a bit of interactive features such as trackers, calendars, galleries, and so on. A few common complaints are that these apps can be a bit intrusive, though, and send too many updates or offer too many features. Sometimes your users not wanting every possible thing that they could be interested in, and you do have to be careful with kind of overwhelming the user with too much functionality on an application. So where do existing non-branded apps kind of fall short? According to IMS Health, the choice of apps is quite overwhelming. With over 165,000 mild apps available in the app stores, 7%, or almost 12,000 of those, are focused on women's health and pregnancy. This can be a bit intimidating number of choices for consumers, leading to simply select the most popular app, and others to try to multiple apps in an effort to determine what is best for them. Physicians likewise have limited mechanisms for vetting the accuracy and efficiency of so many apps. Even with the best and most efficient third-party apps, physicians have zero control over app content. They cannot adapt these apps for the particular preferences and needs of their patients. And they can't add local contacts, resources, or information of that sort. And that's part of why it is so important for facilities to get into creating their own applications. It's also just another source of what we're going to go into here next in branding. So how are branded pregnancy and maternity apps differ from all the other apps available in the stores? Obviously, they can be designed to reflect each provider's branding. But also there's a bit more you can do, a bit more in depth. You can give the patient the opportunity to connect to their personalized care team, incorporate appointments, test results, and other background information, which can improve your workflow and result in fewer missed or late appointments. And then add useful local information such as some resources, services, directions, even possibly some wayfinding. Let's say you're one of the many hospitals that have been expanding and you've got this spread out campus. can really make things beneficial and a more personal touch along the way. Finally, a branded pregnancy app will promote your hospital's services and boost quite a bit that loyalty, resulting in, on your side, that better patient acquisition and retention. So you're serving them on these needs that they haven't really been served yet. So let's look at some examples of some of these successful ones. And here's actually one of our clients, UCLA Health, one of the largest health systems on the West Coast. This app, UCLA Baby, was created in a matter of weeks by a digital marketer, not a programmer. And I'm not a programmer myself, and I even have the capability to create some of these applications. Didn't require writing a single line of code. This app is actually available currently in iOS and Android stores. So this app is backed with interactive tools and engaging graphics. You can enter your due date to customize the app and receive tips, weekly milestones, and to do checklists. There are actually helpful pregnancy tools to guide you through all of your trimesters. And add your appointments along the way, track your weight, count baby's kicks, keep a detailed journal, or create a packing list. And when eventually the time comes, there's even a contraction timer you can put in there. The app can be managed in the cloud and updated in real time. So as soon as you make an update within this platform, it's going to update on their phones. And if the provider wants to add some new content, they most certainly can. Or if you're wanting to change something over. It's been downloaded almost 1,400 times since its launch last year. That's what's more, it has actually won multiple awards, and it's competed against custom developed applications which have been much, much more expensive. So another great example is this app here actually, and it's Sarasota Memorial Hospital. I believe they abbreviated it to SMH Baby. This app offers new moms to be a dynamic and helpful resource to guide them through their pregnancy. Based on your due date, it will show weekly milestones and useful reminders, like when you should select a pediatrician, when to have an epidural arranged if you're having one, and when to register for a childbirth class. It also includes a pregnancy journal, a kick counter, much like the other one, a weight tracker, and a hospital packing list, and a contraction timer. So you'll notice some of these things that I've listed here are actually similar to the other application. That's because they've actually found some use cases on their own where they felt that their consumers needed these as well. And then there'll also be some that they don't have, which obviously they felt that weren't needed, at least not at this time. So they also, and this is one that I've personally tried to express to many facilities, is that you can put deep links for useful websites and kind of local resources. So just another way for them to kind of reach out for that local ability rather than just having those general hospital applications. SMH Baby uses analytics to track and report user activity though. The app has been installed nearly 1,100 times and maintains a steady amount of active users. The app is currently available for iOS and Android. So unlike non-branded third-party pregnancy apps, SMH Baby is highly relevant to the users, as I was saying before, to that Sarasota, Florida location. One of my personal favorites is that along with your milestones, you can immediately see relevant local resources like parental yoga, a baby care basics class, even CPR courses in the area. The app definitely has some good potential and is a fantastic way to brand for that healthcare system. So I'm sure there's going to be a question now. How does one actually start building a branded pregnancy application? And there are a lot of different steps to this. There's a lot of information gathering along this time. But the first and most important is to speak with these doctors and nurses as well as administrators to see what they actually might have some interest in, as they've been working with these patients and these customers. They're going to have some of the best information on what their patients or customers might be interested in. So that's how we got some of this information on how there was issues with these frequently missed appointments. But what resources do the moms want to actually have? What goals is the management trying to meet? These are very important questions that you want to ask early on before getting into application building. And every hospital is going to be very different. I mean, you're of course going to have some of your core structures, but you're going to have these aspects, just like with Sarasota, that you can make very personal and local. And that's what's most important to do, is make it very personal to that individual area. You might want to reach out actually to patients as well. What are they looking for in a mobile tool? What functions would they embrace? And you do have the ability to do this during the actual deployment of the application and the usage of it. But once your app idea kind of starts taking the shape and you start building a quick prototype, there are easy tools to quickly prototype your app though, and get input and content contributions across your organization. People closest to the patient, like I said before, will definitely give you the best ideas, and I'm sure they have quite a few already. And once you have this rough prototype, you just send it out, mainly to your colleagues or a patient focus group. Sometimes I've heard of groups that kind of work on the mobile readiness. So that would definitely be some of the individuals you'd want to send this out to. And it allows them to actually test the application before you send it to your main consumers and your main patients, getting a better understanding of it. Our platform allows you to send an actual native app via an email download link. And that's what allows you to send this directly to these people so they can test it before you actually have to send it to the store so that it's completely accessible by the public. So gather as much feedback from them in that early stage before you've spent a massive amount of time and money finalizing this app. When it comes to applications, it's not like building a house. You don't need your giant plans. You don't need your people surveying the land and confirming where things can and cannot go. It's building it as a process and getting everything kind of together and then making edits along the way. So incorporate all this feedback into the final or new version and send it out. It's just a lot of cleaning and repeating until you feel like, or your facility feels like, what you're about to send out to all these consumers is the best thing you can. So you're ready to get started on this and build for the iOS and Android. But like I said before, that's not actually the end. You can accumulate these reviews through some Google Analytics, or maybe you have a survey that you decided to put in your application so that you can hear their specific wants and needs in regards of what is useful on this application. What do they like? Do they like the whole experience, or do they say that they're missing something that they'd really love to have? These really great applications that you see and that you yourself keep on your phone are ones that are updated constantly, which is why I'm pretty sure most of you have noticed before, you'll get these messages that every time you log on that rather new application that says, hey, give us a review, let us know what's going on. And they always want you to write something, but they can track it just by the stars. So in our experience, the best apps have what we call a mobile hook. That's an interactive function that patients enthusiastically embrace and keep using. And here's some cool functions, some that we've mentioned before, that you could definitely include in this branded application. There's the interactive kick counter to start tracking little baby kicks. This is both exciting and useful for a lot of mothers, You want your patients to report any considerable slowdowns in these kicks even. And there's even a contraction timer that you can include. It's a great tool to determine whether it's time to go to the hospital or not yet. This timer has a super easy to use interface that doesn't require a lot of concentration. There's also one that's recently become popular. It's that weight tracker, and it can become indisposable tool as well. This one, for example, is an easily accessible, reliable weight tracker that allows, a weight tracker there that shows the patients if she's in a healthy weight range or needs to make adjustments to her regimen. And in addition, you can spice up your app a little bit if you really want to with a virtual tool with 3D illustrated milestones, a pregnancy journal, and even an interactive gallery connected to all their social medias that moms can send these pictures off to. That one's recently been very popular. So there's a lot of different things that you can actually log within this application as you go. And it's important to keep track of actually all this information though. So the other thing to go into is that, like I said before, speaking with these physicians and speaking with these doctors, you do need to make sure you create this review along the way. An application, let's say you've already completed everything that you've wanted to do, the application's been out there for a few months, that's a fantastic time to review it again. You're never really done with an application. And as I said before, it's extremely important to go through this process of making it the best that you possibly can. So I'm sure right now the kind of wonder is, why worry about actually doing an application? Why is it time to do one? Even the most cost-efficient app is a waste of your time and money if nobody ends up using it. So you want to start thinking about app promotion strategy, even before you start drawing up a list of functions for your new app. How do your patients find mobile apps? The same way they find anything else, on Google. You want your app to be one of the first search results to pop up when the users look for pregnancy-related resources in that area. That means work on search optimizing your app and possibly promoting it via AdWords or other search marketing engines. And this is going to take a lot of work with your marketing team and going back and forth on how to really get this thing moving forward in a positive manner. You can even send out emails to current people that you're working with and let them know that you've got this new application. And then there's always the good old classic of just having a small sign in your open office areas letting your patients know as they come in, hey, we've got this new application. Check it out. So MobileSmith has helped a lot of our clients build engaging branded pregnancy apps. And our code-free platform enables the agile development cycle to run in a matter of days or weeks, depending on the speed of gathering the necessary content and data on the customer's end. You can send a test app to your reviewers and incorporate the feedback quickly in the next iteration. MobileSmith's prototyping capabilities are perfectly suited for any agile app development the hospitals require today for a flexible, sustainable, patient-centered app strategy. There's a lot of needing to take the time to revise, and this is why that I've gone over this so many times already. This revision and changing is absolutely important. It is not a static entity where you're one and done. So there's a lot of things that MobileSmith can help you with along the way, and a lot of things that our platform allows you to do. Of course, what most people come to us for is the fact that we don't require any programmers whatsoever. you have zero coding, and that already is a cost reduction for you. The fact that also, let's say you did need programmers. You're going to need one to design for iOS and Android. Our Canvas allows you to do both at the exact same time. And you can even actually, and this is becoming everly increasing popular, the iPad. You can actually create for that iPad Canvas. It's just going to be a little bit different sizing, obviously. I don't know if any of you have an iPad personally, but my mother could pretty much throw her phone in the trash because she drags her iPad with her everywhere. But there's a lot of important aspects with MobileSmith, and one of the ones that a lot of our clients have found most useful is the fact that it's 100% customizable. You can use every bit of your own images on this platform, and you can resize them and create them so that it's completely your facility's own application. And this is nice for some, and it doesn't really matter too much for others, but I personally find it useful. It's the fact that you can manage this entire platform, this entire application through the cloud. So you can log in technically from anywhere at any time as long as you have some internet access. So let's say that you're wanting to bring in some lists of information though. You've got some physicians you want them to know about, or some doctors, or even some just availability of topics or discussions, or like that yoga classes. And you want to list this information in the application. You can bring this information over with those RESTful APIs. And if you want things to be completely locked down, you can always use OAuth 2 to completely make it so everyone has to log into their application and all of their information is completely secure. So talk to us about your needs. We're always happy to help kind of shape some ideas to get you set in the right direction to launch some great branded applications, whether it be pregnancy or not. I'm definitely going to try to get to as many of your questions as possible today as they come up. And if I can't get them today, I'm sure I can make sure I take down your contact information and have someone here get in contact with you to maybe set a time to discuss things further. I do want to, while we're all still on here, thank all of you for actually coming on and taking the time to, out of your busy days, to listen and learn a little bit about mobile applications and a little bit more about MobileSmith. I believe actually my information has been listed within a PowerPoint, so if you would like to contact me personally and go into a little bit further detail, feel free to do so.